My name is Aaryan Sengupta, and today I'm going to be talking about what they don't tell you about milk. 3 months ago, some friends introduced me to raw milk. I'd already know the controversy around it, I'd heard the debates, the health warnings, and all the opinions online, but I'd never actually tried it myself. And honestly, the first thing that surprised me was the taste. It was richer, fresher, much more complex than the milk I'd always bought from the store. It felt like discovering that the normal version I'd grown up with was actually a watered-down version of something real. That moment made me stop and think. How many other things in my life have I accepted as normal without ever questioning them? How many opinions do I hold because I genuinely researched them versus because I simply absorbed them from the world around me? So I started digging deeper. And what I found changed the way I think about much more than just milk. We live in a world where it's incredibly easy to let other people think for us. Social media, trends, headlines, algorithms, and popular opinions constantly shape what we see as safe, dangerous, normal, or acceptable. With raw milk, for example, most people immediately think that's dangerous. But when you actually research the issue, you find something much more complicated. Millions of people consume raw milk every day without problems. Many of the outbreaks people hear about come from large industrial operations with poor sanitation, not necessarily from small farms with strong safety practices. The issue often comes down to production standards and handling, not simply whether the milk is pasteurized. Now, to be clear, pasteurization absolutely saved lives when it was introduced over a century ago. If you look back at the late 1800s and early 1900s, cities were growing fast. Cows were often kept in crowded, dirty conditions next to distilleries, eating leftover waste. The milk produced was making people sick. In that environment, pasteurization was a necessary, life-saving change. It fixed a massive safety problem, public health milk. Because unpasteurized milk can carry harmful bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria, modern public health agencies like the FDA and CDC are strongly advised against drinking it to avoid foodborne illness. But over time, as general cleanliness and farming practices got much better, a lot of us stopped asking questions for ourselves. We took a solution meant for a specific problem from the past and made it an absolute rule today. We've gotten used to accepting simplified answers instead of exploring complicated ones. And what bothers me the most is that many people never even get to hear the alternative perspectives. Certain ideas get dismissed before people even have the chance to examine them on their own. But you can't make informed decisions if you only hear one side of the conversation. When one side is completely shut out, there is no room left to think. Eventually, I realized this wasn't really about milk anymore. It was curiosity. It was about critical thinking. It's about learning how to evaluate information for yourself instead of automatically accepting whatever you hear first. I realized that questioning what you consume, whether it's food, media, or ideas, is actually a form of self-respect. It means believe your mind and your health are valuable or enough to deserve real understanding, not just quick answers. Because risk isn't universal, something society labels as dangerous may not be dangerous in every single situation. Context matters. Personal responsibility matters. The ability to think critically matters. Sometimes you need to first-hand experience instead of pre-filtered version of reality. And no, I'm not saying every popular opinion is wrong, and I'm not saying every alternative idea is correct. What I am saying that you should never stop asking questions, because once you stop questioning, you stop thinking. And once you stop thinking, you let someone else run your life. What started for me as a simple question, why does this taste so different, turned into a bigger question about information, independence, and curiosity. One small moment of curiosity opened the door to a completely different way of thinking. And that's what I want you to live with today. I'm not here to convince you to drink milk. I'm here to encourage you to find your own version of that glass of milk. Something you've always accepted without examination. Pick one belief, one assumption, one fact that you've never seriously questioned, and then research it deeply. Look at multiple perspectives, read primary sources, challenge your own assumptions, instead of searching for opinions to confirm that what you already believe. Because we live in a world where information is constantly curated for us. Algorithms decide what we are. Trends influence what we believe. Convenience often replaces critical thought. And in that kind of world, independent thinking becomes powerful. Your mind is too valuable to hand it over to someone else. Question things. Research deeply. Think for yourself. Thank you.